And for more on the military campaign being waged against Islamic State, I spoke with retired Air Force Colonel Cedric Leighton, who formerly served as a member of the US Joint Chiefs of Staff. We saw there that the Kurds are making gains in Sinjar. Gains have also been made in Kobani. But what's it going to take to actually push Islamic State right back out of Iraq and Syria?
Well, that's going to be the difficult question. The big goal right now for military operations in Iraq is really to recapture Mosul. So the Kurdish goal is to recapture Mosul with Iraqi forces, and obviously Yazidi forces are also involved in this. So that is what they're going to. So the village of Sinjar, smaller villages that are both near Mosul as well as near Erbil, the Kurdish capital, are the ones that are being affected by this, and the Kurdish forces, the Peshmerga especially, are moving forward in that area, and they've had some success in actually moving IS forces from there.
But are there enough Kurdish and Iraqi fighters to do the job?
Well, Mosul is going to be very tough. Sinjar is a city that's being fought over now, as we just saw in this piece, and that is going to be a critical times 10 kind of effort that will have to take place in order to go through Mosul. And Mosul it has obviously an urban environment. There are about 1.8 million people used to live in that urban area before the troubles. And that means that there are going to be a lot of issues when it comes to actually uprooting IS forces from a place like this. It's an extremely difficult and potentially very deadly urban environment that they're getting into.
Now, the US is talking about training the Iraqi brigades very soon, but is there a danger of losing momentum against Islamic State while that happens?
Absolutely. If you waste time in the training phase and don't have those forces ready enough to get into offensive military operations when they are needed, that will create a significant drawback for the US-supported forces. And when that happens, we do risk losing momentum, and we risk changing the dynamic of the battlefield. And I think the Kurds are actually moving forward at a pace that may be greater than what Washington and London really are expecting at this point.
Now, the president has set his face against any US ground troops, but can this be achieved without them in the fight against Islamic State?
It's doubtful. It's doubtful because these types of environments may allow for tactical gains to be achieved from air or from indigenous forces. But the key question is, how well are the indigenous forces trained? Clearly, the Kurdish forces are very good, but they need supplies, they need logistics, they need intelligence, and they need to have those efforts sustained. We cannot, if we are going to succeed against IS, we cannot forget what we're doing here, and we cannot go into an environment where we allow IS to succeed even for a brief moment, because this war is all about momentum, and if you don't keep the momentum going, then you risk losing the significant gains that have been made so far. And in order to achieve those gains, you need to be able to exploit using all elements of military power.
Colonel Cedric Leighton, thank you so much for joining us.
You bet, Laura. Thank you.